Hey there, this video is part of a full online course right here on YouTube called Tofu Mastery. So I highly recommend starting from the very first lesson, which you can find here. Otherwise, let's get to it. Hey there, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to cook up our tofu scramble. And of course, if you watched our previous video, you're gonna need that scramble mix that we made earlier. And if you can find it, if you have access to it, some Kalanamak salt, which is black Indian salt, is great whenever you want a little bit of that egg-like taste. It's part of the reason why we kept the salt content low in our spice mix. And another reason is we're gonna add some moisture and some additional saltiness to our scramble by adding a little bit of soy sauce. The main ingredient is, of course, our tofu. So this is you can use super firm or extra firm tofu for this. And we're simply going to crumble it up with our fingers. I've heated a pan on high and I'm going to add some olive oil. And I'm gonna get started with my mushrooms. So these are white button mushrooms. And I start with these to just get a nice golden color in these. They're gonna look beautiful in the final dish. As soon as you get a light golden color on those, we can add our onions and our peppers. If you feel that the pan is a little bit too dry, you can add a touch more olive oil. So onions go in and our peppers go in. This is another thing that you can do in advance. You can chop those vegetables up the night before and have them ready to go in the morning. You could even use already diced frozen veggies if you're in a pinch. As soon as you see that your onions are translucent, we're gonna add our tofu right in. And right away, we're gonna begin adding our spices. So I've got my tofu scramble mix here. I like to open the little spout. We're gonna kind of add what would be equivalent to 1 or 2 pinches. And then my black Indian salt, I'm gonna use the kind of shaker side just to add a little bit. A little goes a long way. You can taste it and, adjust as you go along. That's the beauty of this recipe. That's the beauty of making the spice mix ahead of time. In the morning, you don't have to think about amounts. And we're gonna just give this a toss. As you can see, it's already turning that yellow color. Turmeric gets more powerful and more potent in color as time passes and as the food cooks and as it rests in the fridge as well. So even if you see that it's really light in color, give it a little time, it'll get there. What we're gonna do now is add a little bit of moisture. I love to do that with some diced tomato. We're just gonna let that cook for about a minute. And now we're gonna add some soy sauce. You can use tamari soy sauce to keep this entire dish gluten-free. And this is gonna add just a nice balance of flavor, a different type of saltiness, and some moisture, which we also want. I'm gonna give it a taste and see if I need to adjust the seasoning. That's really good. But it does need a touch more of that saltiness and of that eggy flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more of that Kalanamak and a bit more of that soy sauce. I always love to finish off this dish with some fresh herbs. I've got some chopped parsley and some chives. Chives are the best with scrambles. But use what you have. You can use cilantro, you can use a little bit of basil, whatever you have on hand. I like to be generous with the herbs. Now keep in mind, you could add greens to this. You could add some kale, you could add some spinach. You can really make this your own. And it doesn't only have to be for breakfast. In fact, one of my favorite lunches is to add this inside a tortilla wrap, add some potatoes that I've roasted in the oven or I've sauteed in a pan, and roll those up like a breakfast burrito for lunch, serve with some guacamole. So many things you could do with this. Now you know how you can quickly make a tofu scramble in the morning by just having your handy spice mix ready. How cool is that? Let's give it a taste. Oh, that's so good. With some buttery toast in the morning. Thanks for watching. Ready to get super meaty? In our next video, I'll teach you how to make the best ever barbecue bourbon tofu, one of my weekly go-tos. I'm gonna teach you a basic everyday version and one that is so jazzed up, you'll be tweaking your store-bought barbecue sauces from now until eternity. It's a 2-for-1 and I can't wait for you to watch it.